The third instruction is there in verse 4, but it's repeated later really in a slightly different form. In verse 14, you will have nothing to fear. Do not be afraid, verse 4. We might ask what these people were afraid of. Well, of course, they were afraid of their enemies. You know, the Babylonians, their captors, were seemingly far more powerful than them, and they were frightened of what they might do to them. They were frightened of tyranny, verse 14, and terror, as we are. Verse 15, it was attack. If anyone does attack you. Well, we're all frightened of those things, aren't we? Naturally. You might also be afraid of people or things in your life. But there's something else they were afraid of. It's in verse 4. They were also afraid of their own shame. They were afraid of their own sin, their foolishness, and they were fearful of disgrace before God. They were fearful of disgrace before God and shame before God. And that's something you may also be afraid of for the things you've done and said and thought. Afraid of what the Lord will do when before Him you will have to give an account of your life. As I walked through the park this morning and saw all the litter strewn across it, I thought, that's a shame. That's a disgrace, really. But there's disgrace and shame in all our lives, and in mine too. I'm ashamed of some of the things I've done and said over the years, and thought, even more so of the things I've thought. Disgrace and shame are words that belong in my life, and in yours too, I think. And if you're afraid of what that means before God, in some ways that's a very healthy thing. Because the Lord has an answer for that.